Hi, Jean-Lucia, how you doing? Oh, hang on, just looking at Facebook. Oh no, my posts are gone of Alan Shearer scoring for Chile, and I had some pictures of London sites that we saw when we were there. Oh no, I've been unfriended. Yeah, so I've been unposted, unfriended, and hang on, blocked. Oh no. I've been blocked. I've never been unfriended and blocked before. Oh dear. This is where things are. This makes it very difficult, of course, to communicate with you, and I think you sent me the message that you don't want me to communicate with you, but I miss you and I want to talk to you face, not email. And so I'm going to try this, see if it will work. One thing I have tried to do to make this help is I've stopped taking the pills that I was taking from when I got to the UK. You may recall that I told you I'd been put on some pills for overactive thyroid. Yeah, overactive thyroid pills helped me to gain more energy, but the cost was they're not good for your mind at all. I don't think they help your judgment or anything. So I took them for a month, and that was the month that a lot of the things I did turned out to be inappropriate. They didn't help us to communicate, even though I hoped that they would. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on. Here we are. Look, this is a friend of mine, and here's another friend. These two little guys are really friendly with each other. They go for what I call broro, which is what I was looking for with yourself. And broro is great for these guys because they can stimulate each other, they can share things, they really good friends. But I'll tell you what happens is when they're separated, if I take one away, sooner or other the other one is going to go crazy, just loses self-control. And that's what happens. When I left you and I didn't have any way of communicating with you, I just looked for the ways that I could find, you know, what was in the public domain. And I looked for Facebook, Skype, Facebook phone, some VIP type things. I sent some messages about football because that was a common interest we had, and I sent messages about when would you be coming through London again, because I knew you had to come back through London at some point, and I thought, great, we can meet up, have a coffee, do something, catch up. I really want to hear about your trip. I want to know about all sorts of things, really, studies and so on like this. But I think with me making so many efforts, doing so many things, it was overkill, and this made me more of a clown than a dog. Yeah, I think these things just made me look stupid and annoying, a nuisance. So I'm not going to be a clown anymore. No, I try not to be. I want to instead maybe think back to when we were travelling, and when you and I were on the flight. We seemed to get along fine. I was having fun meeting with you. I actually had sat down on the flight. This was me. And I sat down having a double seat next to me. Nobody there at all. Yeah, I was quite pleased. I got this nice double seat. And suddenly I heard from the aisle, oh, I think that seat's mine. So what happened then was I got out, and you were sorting out your backpack, and I waited for you to sit down, and you thought, gosh, this guy's taking forever. I mean, by the time he sorts out this backpack, we'll be due to arrive in London. But you got sorted, you sat down next to me, and I thought, well, I'll break the ice and I'll ask you how you'd got on in the 5-hour flight delay that we'd had, and you talked to me about going around different coffee bars, and you're clearly at your boredom threshold. And we started talking on other things from there. One of the subjects was, of course, football, and we talked about your local team that you like and your national team, and I talked about Chelsea, and you were more into championship games than me, so I thought, hey, I need to get into that. And I liked the idea that you had, that you texted people after a game and shared comments, and I thought that's something I must try and do. Maybe I'll do that with you. Yeah, we talked not just about football, we talked a little bit about your travel plans, where you're going to go next. You're going to go, France was after London, and then it was going to be Spain and Italy. And you were going to come back to the UK, and I was interested in that because I could give you a little bit of advice. And you asked me what were the places to go, and you were saying you were going to go to, where was it now? You were going to go to Belfast, and I said, no way, don't go there. I said, go Southern Ireland instead. And you were talking about Wales. Look, I was hooked. I wanted to know more about this trip, and that was what prompted some of my communications later. Was I was just trying to get to meet up with you and see what you had been doing and what your next set of plans were. And I was sorry that didn't work out. It turns out it didn't work out because you told me well after this month was up that you hadn't been taking messages and so on. So I hadn't known that. I just thought the way I was communicating wasn't the one that was working. So I kept looking for other ways. And just got myself into trouble in the process. So anyway, we had quite a nice little chat, and I think as time went along, they started serving some food, and I remember I had some noodles, which I have an example here of noodles. Yeah. And you quite liked the idea of the noodles. So I think you found it also quite amusing when I started getting them spilled all down my shirt. So so much for noodles. And we had some more conversation, I think, after we'd had a little bit of sleep. And we decided we would take the shuttle together, get a little, when I say shuttle, a buggy really, just that would get us through the airport. And we zoomed through the airport together. And when we got out, we got on the bus that was going to take us to Hammersmith, which is where we could get the subway into London. Now, you asked me about the difference between a coach, which is what the British call a long-distance bus, and a regular bus, which is the stop-start bus in towns and cities. So I wanted to make sure I answered that question properly. Here is a coach, and here is a bus. So hopefully I have done my duty and explained that well. What else did we talk about? Well, you know what, we didn't do a lot of talking then. We were really getting around the town. We went into London, and I got on your shoulder because I am visually impaired and I find it hard. My mobility is a bit low. So couple my mobility with what I'd learned after you'd gone, that I'd got this overactive thyroid that needed to be treated, plus I'd also got potentially prostate cancer. I was not set up for a good month when you went away. I really wanted to talk to you, and I was sorry that that opportunity didn't arise. So I had my stick, and you turned this stick of mine, right, the blind man's stick, into fantastic. Yes, because I got on your shoulder and I was able to just get around, and we saw an awful lot in 4 hours. We stopped for coffee on Piccadilly, I recall, and I gave you my credit card. I said, I'll go pay for it on this, and it didn't show up on my bill, so I'm presuming you bought me a coffee, in which case I thank you very much. I didn't realise. I enjoyed seeing London through your eyes. It was really good. It was, you know, the broro started there, so like these 2 dogs that I showed you, I was like a dog with a fellow dog, and it was sad when we had to split up, or we had to go our way. One of the things I wanted to communicate with you about more was the old soccer. Yes, because there were some great games while you were in Europe, and I was messaging you saying, "You're going to see this one." Like Chelsea happened to play Arsenal and won 4-1, and I really wanted to think that you saw that as well. And Portugal had some great games. There was some good stuff going on. So I was sorry that we just couldn't have those communications. But it was sort of innocuous stuff, like trying to arrange to meet, and there's nothing apart from, on one occasion I tried to introduce you to a professor, which you didn't want to do, and I don't think there would have been any repercussions of me trying to arrange that, except I tried to do it through the university, and I learned that that was not appropriate with yourself, and I'm sorry. I didn't know that beforehand, or I would not have done it. Okay, so we had I had a fantastic time anyway, going around, and then after you'd gone, things just weren't the same, but you know, I plodded on. And one of the things that I did was I went to a shop that we talked about, which was Primark. I said I shop at Primark, and people think that's a bit of a low-end place to go, but you said, "Oh no, it's good value, I go there, I go in Brooklyn." Well, I picked up, and I don't know, you can probably get it in the Primark in Brooklyn, a shirt in London with Brooklyn on the seam. And this is a funny shirt, actually, because it has a label at the top which says it's for a 13 to 14-year-old. I couldn't get one in a bigger size, but I got it for you. I thought it must fit you because it seemed to fit. It would fit me. I put it up against me and it seemed fine. The problem I've got is, of course, how to get it to you, because I don't have any way of contacting you really, and I did not want this to seem like a manipulative measure to say, "Oh well, you know, it would be pretty crude, wouldn't it, to say, oh yeah, well, you're not speaking to each other at the moment, but if you want to meet up, I'll give you a shirt." Yeah, I think that would be not exactly very suave. So, but I just wanted you to know that it's there. I thought of you before we had our more recent communications, and I had planned, and I had hoped I would really get to see you again. I was excited about it, and I'm really sorry that it's not worked out. So, to tell you also that I have another broro friend, and his name is Bo. Alright, I think I ought to help Bo to come to life here, excuse me. So Bo and I are good pals, and the reason I think we're good pals is that we do not do email, do we? No, we don't. Emails got me into a lot of trouble in the past, and it didn't help me with you. We don't do text, and we don't do, we actually don't do phone, do we? No. No, when we have a phone call, it's pretty boring, a bit one way, I find, yeah. So what we do is we talk to each other face to face, don't we? We have little chats. And I think face-to-face is the way to go. And, yeah, we hug. But you don't have to get into that if you don't want. But I would love to see you and have, you know, he likes my finger. I would love to see you and make up, you know, and just find a way of sorting out any bad business that's gone on and sweeping it away and being pals again. I really miss you. I still miss you, even despite everything that's happened. I want your broro, so please help me find a way that we can make up. I'll see you, Jean-Lucia. Take care. Bye.